Hello and welcome to today's English reading and listening practice. Today's topic is that confidence or narcissism? Let's talk about something we've all wondered about at some point narcissism. You know that feeling? You meet someone who seems amazing at first, charming, confident, full of energy, but after a while, something feels off. Maybe they interrupt you constantly, they turn every conversation back to themselves, or they react badly when they don't get the attention they expect. It's exhausting, right? We often use the word narcissist to describe a vain coworker or a friend who takes too many selfies. But real narcissism, the psychological kind, is deeper than that. It's more complex than just liking your own reflection. So let's sit down together. Let's unpack what's really going on inside a narcissistic person's mind. What is narcissism exactly? In psychology, narcissism isn't just about arrogance or pride. It's personality trait and it exists on a spectrum. On one end, you have healthy self-esteem. That means feeling good about yourself without putting others down. On the other end, you have narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. That's a diagnosed mental health condition. But most people who show narcissistic behaviors fall somewhere in the middle. The word itself comes from an ancient Greek myth. A young man named Narcissus fell in love with his own reflection in a pool of water. He stared at himself until he died. He couldn't look away. That image, someone trapped by their own image, is actually quite sad when you think about it. The mask of confidence. Here's something surprising. Most experts believe that underneath all that flashy confidence, many narcissistic people actually feel deeply insecure. Think of it like a peacock showing off its feathers. Beautiful and impressive, but also quite fragile. Psychologists call this vulnerable narcissism. These people use arrogance as a shield. They need constant praise, what we call narcissistic supply, to avoid feeling worthless. If you stop admiring them, they might become angry or cold. They might even play the victim. That sudden shift from charming to cruel can be confusing and hurtful. But here's the truth, it's not really about you, it's about their desperate need to feel special. On the other hand, there's grandiose narcissism. These people genuinely believe they are superior. They lack empathy, the ability to understand and share feelings. For them, other people are like tools or audience, not friends. They take credit for team success. They blame others for failures. And they rarely apologize sincerely. Does that sound familiar? Maybe someone you've met. Red flags in everyday life. Let me share some signs you might notice in a narcissistic person. These aren't for diagnosing anyone, but they can help you understand your own experiences better. First, they struggle with accountability. Saying I'm sorry feels like a loss of status. Instead, they might say, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's not a real apology. Second, they have a pattern of idealizing and devaluing. At first, they might make you feel like the most important person in the world. This is sometimes called love bombing. But later, without a clear reason, they criticize you harshly or they ignore you. This push pull dynamic is emotionally draining. Third, they react with narcissistic rage when criticized. Not just annoyance, I mean disproportionate fury. For example, you say something small like, maybe we could see a movie you don't choose this time. They might respond with, silent treatment, or sarcasm, or even explosive anger. Why do people become narcissistic? You might be wondering, are narcissists born or made? The honest answer is both. Research shows a genetic component. Some people are born with a more sensitive temperament, but environment plays a huge role too. For example, children who are overpraised might develop narcissistic traits, the ones who are told they are perfect and can do no wrong. Or children who are severely neglected, they may develop narcissism as a survival strategy. If a child learns that only outstanding achievements get love, they grow up believing they must always appear flawless. So, in a strange way, narcissism is often a wounded part of a person. But this is very important. Understanding the cause does not excuse the harmful behavior. You can feel compassion for someone's past without accepting mistreatment in the present. How to deal with a narcissistic person? If you recognize these patterns in someone close to you, what can you do? Here are a few practical suggestions. First, set firm boundaries. Calmly state what you will and won't accept. For example, I'm happy to listen to you, but if you shout at me, I will end the conversation. Then follow through. Second, stop seeking validation from them. You will likely never hear, "You were right," or "Thank you." Expecting that is like waiting for rain in a desert. Third, protect your own mental health. Spending too much time with a highly narcissistic person can make you doubt yourself. You might start thinking, "Am I too sensitive?" You are not. Your feelings matter. Finally, know when to step back. Some relationships cannot be fixed, especially with a person who refuses to reflect on their behavior, and that is not your failure. Here's what I want you to take away: narcissism is real. It can cause genuine pain in relationships, but not every confident person is a narcissist, and not every difficult person is beyond change. The key is to learn the patterns, trust your gut, and protect your peace. And remember, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. Don't lose it trying to pour love into someone who cannot truly receive it. Thanks for reading. Take a deep breath and be kind to yourself today.